Hey everyone, it's Celeste and welcome to my BookTube channel. This is the start of a new reading vlog. It is Sunday night, October the 8th. And yeah, I thought I need to film a vlog for this month and I want to go ahead and get it started. Things are good. They've been busy at work, but this week we have a 4-day week because I say a 4-day week, but a 4-day week with students. I have a work day on Friday, so I'll be at work, but it won't be the same kind of day at work that I'm used to having. It'll be a work day, I guess, to like make sure that I have all my grades situated because we are coming up on the end of the grading period, so that's cool. I've done grading for tonight, all that I'm going to do this weekend. I really should work on some other stuff to kind of get ahead, but I'm going to make that a tomorrow Celeste problem. What am I reading this week? Well, I really want to finish a book about ghost sightings in Los Angeles, like California, Hollywood, that I started, and I've only read like maybe the first 2 or 3 chapters. And then I want to also finish reading How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. I have started that one and read like half of it one weekend in August and then put it down and didn't pick it back up again, which is something that I frequently do because that's just who I am as a person, I guess. So anyway, but did I pick up either of those earlier today while I took reading breaks in between doing my laundry and grading my papers? No, I started reading, I actually started it last night, but I didn't, let's see. Oh, no. Let me see. Let me see if I can't. I am reading, I don't know if you guys can see it on here, but it's number 7 in the Ice Planet Barbarians. And, I read about 50 pages earlier today because, yeah, like I'm like, oh, I'm going to read these books. And then I read a totally different book because, of course, I did. So it's kind of late. And as you can see, I've showered, I've dried my hair, and I've already laid out my clothes. So I'm really in that sort of like relaxing part of the night. So I think what I'm going to do is do a little bit of reading before I go to bed. And I think I'm going to read some more of this Ice Planet Barbarian book, actually. Because it's really good. Like you saw the cover in the little thumbnail. Like you look at it and you're like, okay, that looks like one of those like cheesy romance books. And it is. But it's like sci-fi. And so it's the world building that she does is really interesting, actually. And so like honestly, I'm not even reading it so much for the romance as I am to see what happens next in this world, because they've gotten into some situations. Like I was telling my husband about it, which, to plug one of my videos, we've started our series where we trade books. We've been trading books, but then I was like, one day when we were like picking up books to read, to trade with each other, I was like, why don't we just film this? Like, I think it would be interesting for people to like see you. Because he actually thought about doing some YouTube videos for like things that he's interested in. And I was like, well, you can do some stuff on my channel with me, and then you can see if you really like it. And then you can get involved in it if that's something you're interested in. And so like, he's like, okay, that's cool. So we've started that series. So really I need to pick that book up. But, and I probably will start it, but I was looking at it, it has really wide margins, has pretty big font, and it's not that long. like in general. So there's that. I also want to do a new set of nails. Like that's what I keep looking down at as I keep looking at my cuticles. I'm going to push back my cuticles and trim them and then prep my nails. And I think I'm going to put on this set. So I frequently buy sets of like just plain full coverage tips, and then I paint them to look how I want. This set is like 2 different Sally Hansen quick dry colors, and then also I use some stickers that I had. So the little moon and the little sun, I mean not the sun, star, are stickers, nail stickers that I put on. And so I think I'm going to put this set on because the green and the black are really telling me, hey, October, right? And then like the little moon and the star, it's kind of like witchy, but I like a little sparkle, and you can see there's like some glitter mixed in with that black for those accent nails. So I think I'm going to prep my nails and go ahead and put those on for the week, read some more of this Ice Planet Barbarian book, and I will call it a night, and I will see you guys in my next clip. Hey, so it is Tuesday. I had to think about it. It's Tuesday, October the 10th. I didn't film a clip yesterday. Let me get situated. Ooh, I went to work and had just sort of a regular day, I guess, at work. And then was tired. And I had done so much grading on Sunday that I was like, I'm just gonna watch YouTube videos and read my books and just like chill and just whatever. So I didn't do anything like productive. But tonight I am going to update my grade book a little bit. And then I'm going to maybe get some reading done. I don't know. I guess it depends on how late it is. So where am I in my reading? So I am using the physical copy and the audiobook to get through Vampires of El Norte. And as you can see, I'm almost done. In fact, I think I only have like 30 minutes left of the audiobook. I'm not sure what page I'm on because I have to look at the chapter title, hello, and then see what page I'm on and then go from there. But I'm like pretty dang close to the end, I know. So I'll probably finish that before I go to bed tonight. I really am enjoying it. It is a good mix of this like dramatic, angsty romance, but also like the creepy vampire part of it. And I really think that it ties into like folklore from the region really well. And I am finding myself to be a fan of Isabel Cañas's writing. I really loved The Hacienda also. Like it had like the gothic dark vibes, and I saw like I could feel the connections in her writing between that book and this one. So she might become like an auto-buy author, like going in that direction, I'm just saying. But yeah, I'll probably finish that tonight before I go to bed. I was also reading Sunday. I was also reading a lot of the number 7 book of Ice Planet Barbarians, which is by Ruby Dixon. And let's see, I am at 49%. So like I pulled up the Kindle app on my phone and I'm at 49%, which is like chapter 12 or whatever. And I've gotten to where the 2 love interests are together. And it's really interesting that these Ice Planet Barbarian books are like marketed as like smut. And then this book, I'm halfway done with it. They have not really had sex. There's been a little bit of that like kind of slow burn where they're like looking at each other and they're feeling that attraction and you know, having thoughts, but nothing has actually really happened. And so yeah, like I'm kind of like, okay, that's, you know, like that's cool, because for me, the sexy scenes are cool or whatever, but like I'm finding myself pulled into the world building and like the overall story arc from book to book, because this is book number 7, so it's really starting to kind of like lay a lot of that information in there. So I'm finding myself more into it for that than like sexy times and that. But anyway, I am getting ready to, do some grade book updating. Like you can see, I'll show you guys. I have like, I usually turn on like either people's like book hauls or vlogs or whatever, depending on what I'm like grading. Sometimes I pull up like lo-fi type stuff. I really enjoy like seasonal lo-fi. That's just like what's going on. So like if you look at like my setup, I've got my work laptop and my play laptop, and I've got like a little clipboard where I have like some of the physical papers. I try to get my students to do as much of their work on the Google Classroom than on paper, because papers can be lost. But once you turn it in Google Classroom, it's sort of like the system is stable. Like it doesn't get lost or whatever. And over here to the side, you can see I stopped at the dollar store and picked up some nail supplies. So I really like these LA Color tips. They're $1.30, y'all. $1.30. These are the ones I have on. These are the ones I have on right now, are this brand. And I paint them to look how I want and design them. And then this is the glue that I really like to use. It works well for me. And then I use a diamond top coat. It's LA Colors. It works pretty well to like seal in whatever I do in my nails. So I need to like unpackage that and put that with my stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of a mess. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a mess. Tomorrow, I'm not sure what kind of day I'm gonna have, because I am going to have testing. So we're like, I think the SAT testing is happening, PSAT or something, and I am going to be administering like a achievement test, like a benchmark type test to like my freshmen. Well, I say my freshmen, whatever freshmen are in my room, and so I'm not gonna have like a regular school day. Like, it's gonna be a little bit different. And then Thursday is the last day of the grading period, which equals like stress, because kids are trying to turn things in last minute. And then Friday is a teacher work day. So I'm kind of excited about that. And then Saturday is marching contest for my son. So I'll be going to see more marching band stuff. And I might actually be able to show you guys some like other bands. If I get there early enough, I can watch some other bands. So anyway, yeah, so I'm going to stop this clip here, and I will check in with you later. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Hey, so it is kind of late on Thursday night. So I am currently, I took a little nap. So I'm currently working on my grade book, because today was the last day of the grading period. And so I really want to just get my grades done so I can move on to my other tasks. Tomorrow, I get to go in like an hour later than normal, so that's nice. And we have a teacher work day. And so if I can get my grades done tonight before I go to sleep, then I can focus on working on other things that I have to do for the next week, which next week, so it is a work day on Friday, and then we're off on Monday, and then the kids aren't going to be there on Tuesday because we have professional development. So that means that I have like a 3-day week with the children, so I'll need to lesson plan for that. And I might be able to actually lesson plan for the week after that, so yay for working ahead. Book update. I finished Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas. I gave it 5 stars. It was just, it's the thing, it crossed all the check boxes. It is rich in the folklore. It had vampires, and what I really liked is that Cañas's take on the vampires was less of like the supernatural thing that doesn't belong, and more of like the supernatural thing that's always been there, like, and you should be wary of it, but there's reasoning for the things that are happening, and you can almost be like existing altogether. It doesn't have to be, it's not the end of the world. Like a lot of books that include like things like zombies or vampires or, you know, werewolves or whatever, it's more of like a catastrophic situation. I really like books that kind of lean more into like folklore and like how we have to coexist. Like it's just, they're there, we're there. Okay, that's cool. And I also really liked the historical aspect of it because it ties into like the rich history of like northern Mexico, like going into Texas, in the like the 1840s. And so I really appreciated, like I felt like I was learning because like I'm from Texas. I'm not from that area of Texas, but I've been through those areas of Texas. So it was really rich for me to like imagine those areas that I've been to and learn a little bit more, because it's been a long time since I took a Texas history class. Do other states do that? Like in Texas, our state has like had a very rich history in the sense of like all the different countries that have been in power, and Texas itself was its own country at one point. And so we actually have like a whole history class that you take in 7th grade, where that whole school year, that's what your history is. You're studying all the things about Texas. And so it kind of enriched some of those things that I knew, but it's been a long time since I've read about any of those things. Anyway, I loved it, gave it 5 stars. And it's one of my Book of the Month books, so that's cool. So I need to pick up another Book of the Month book because I am in that home stretch. And like, if you're not a Book of the Month member, like they do these like challenges. I am a sucker for a challenge. And so one of them is like reading a certain number of books of your Book of the Month books and rating them in the app or the website. And I am up to 13, and I think the first goal is like, well, one of the first 3 goals is to read 15. And so I want to you know, read more of them, and they have to be more recent, like in the last, like you have to have gotten them in your box in the last, like the current year and the year before. And so I am trying to not let any of my list, my reading list, my TBR for Book of the Month books to go too long, because then they don't count for the challenge. I mean, it still counts as a book. It's still books I want to read, but you know, like that sort of competitive aspect. I'm thinking of picking up Lone Women by Victor LaValle. It also has like a historical, and it's like also in the not the 1800s, like the early 1900s. And it has like sort of that, and it's also like horror, and I've been interested in it, so I think I'm gonna go into this one, but I'm not gonna use the audiobook. I'm gonna just like flat out read it, but I haven't started it. On my Audible, because I like to have an audiobook going in the car, I'm reading, so when I finished Vampires of El Norte, I picked up Nobody Needs to Know by Pigeon Pagonis, which is a memoir about an intersex person, and they are talking about things that happened, and the writing in that so far, like I'm about a third of the way through, and the writing of that so far is very rich, where it's like, yes, it's like, well, this happened and this happened and this happened, because, you know, it's a memoir talking about their lives, but also talking about, but the writing is lyrical, like the descriptions are vivid, and I'm really enjoying that. And I'm also learning a lot, and I'm also like heartbroken for the things that happen to people, especially decisions that are made for people when they're infants or small children. And so, but I think learning about intersex individuals is something that like that's a gap. Like that's something that I would like to know more about. And I think this is an excellent read so far, like teaching me about not only like the physical characteristics, but also like the grief and the situations that individuals tend to face when they're intersex. So, that's that little reading update. I think I'm like 70 or 80% done with the Ice Planet Barbarian book that I'm reading on my Kindle. I don't have that with me right now. I haven't actually read any of it today because I've been concentrating on the grading that I have in front of me. Like, you guys saw the setup in one of my other clips. I've got 2 laptops going. I've got my gradebook, my online gradebook open. I've got like paper copies of stuff going. And I'm just going through and like checking Google Classroom and making sure, did I give the kids credit for all the assignments that they did? Because today was the last day to do things. So there were things that got turned in at the last minute. Like the end of the school day for us is 2:45. And some of their assignments, especially when they're turning them online, get timestamped. And I'm like, this child turned this assignment in at 2:40. Okay. So I'm going in. And it was a weird day at work because instead of being in my classroom, I was working more on an administrative level, which is weird because that's not me. That's not something I'm seeking out. But I had a sub in my room, and I was able to go to other teachers and assist them and make sure that they were able to do the things they needed to do in their gradebook, and also clear the hallways and just be a support personnel. Cause yeah, it's whatever. It's cool. That's the kind of things that happen when you've been doing your job for a while, many years. I also read a few pages this afternoon in this Haunted Hollywood book. I'm still not terribly far in it. I haven't gotten far enough to really make decisions on how I feel about some of it, but I'm starting to lean more on some of the things. I think I talked about it. The writer, to include paranormal encounters that people have talked about, the author is making fictional people, and I don't know. In the chapter I'm in, it's not it. But in the previous chapter, it was okay. It was kind of interesting. So maybe it's just not a strong chapter. This might be a book that, sort of like a collection of short stories where it's you're kind of judging it chapter by chapter. And then when you get to the end, you're like, okay, more of the chapters were this than this, so I'm going to give it this rating. But 'tis a season for ghosty things. So, and I am learning a lot about it. Tomorrow is a work day, like I mentioned, but then also I will be going to my son's football game, and then Saturday is marching contest, so I will be watching marching bands perform and hoping that my son's band does well so that they can advance to the next competition, and just being a supportive mom. And yeah, so that's what's going on. So kind of busy, but not, and I'm tired, but I'm not crazy tired. I think it's just, but I'm looking forward to having Monday off so that I can recharge, get some reading done, get some stuff done around the house. So anyway, I will check in with you guys in another clip. Okay, so I'm here to wrap up this vlog. It's been a week and I kind of want to do something else. So I'm going to wrap up this vlog. So I started this vlog a week ago, and this week I was reading. I usually read like 6 or 7 books at a time, but I ended up finishing 3 this week, which I'm really happy about. I feel like it's really kind of gotten my October reading kind of rolling, because I'm now like October, November, December are the months where I'm looking at, okay, what have I read? What are my goals to finish for the rest of the year? Like, what are the books I need to finish by December 31st? And so like I'm kind of getting in that headspace. So anyway, let me wrap up what I've read this week and all that, because it's been pretty busy the last like 2 days. I haven't really gotten a lot of reading done. And so like, yeah, there's that. So anyway, the first book that I finished this week was Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas. I gave it 5 stars. She's becoming like an auto-buy author for me. Like, I love The Hacienda, and then I loved Vampires of El Norte. I think that she does a really great job of writing these complex characters with like complex relationships. She does it in a nice historical setting. She writes in a style that is both like the plot and the characterization move along, but also has like a lyrical feel. Like it's atmospheric. And so that was a great book to finish this week. I read it both with the physical copy and with the audiobook. The second book that I finished this week was number 7 in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. I gave it 2 stars. It wasn't my favorite out of the series so far. I feel like with these long series, especially like these long smutty series, what you find is there's like each book has its own situation, its own plot arc, but also the books are like connected in an overall plot. And that's what gets me coming back. Like the smut is great. The relationships are great, and they're different in their specific ways, but I want to know what's going to happen in the worlds that are being created in the overall situations, because a lot of it deals with like the dynamics of groups forming or disbanding and survival. And like survival is one of those like topics, tropes, whatever, that continues to be interesting. Like it's kind of like when you get into those, like when we were into those dystopian books in like the, like, I guess into the aughts and into like the 2010s. But it's different. Anyway, and if you can hear my son making noises, he's just making noises, sorry. And then yesterday, the third book that I finished for this week was a memoir that I was listening to. I was listening to the Audible audiobook, but I had it through my Kindle Unlimited. And it was a memoir of an intersex individual. And it's Nobody Needs to Know by Pigeon Pagonis. Pigeon Pagonis is an intersex activist who has done so much to, inform people. They are really pushing, using social media and using like an entertainment presence, I guess, in some situations, to really inform people about what it means to be intersex and how we need to change our views on how we view intersex individuals, and especially not making decisions for babies and children, basically. Like these ideas, because a lot of the ideas about what people do or don't do to the babies and the children who are intersex is based off of societal norms and like societal gender norms, and that's not a thing that ever needed to be done. and especially not a thing that needs to be done as we progress into these like new ideas of like new norms, I guess. That's a weird way of putting it, but new ways of looking at gender and identity, because now, so more than ever in the past, it is becoming more acceptable to be, say, non-binary or to be fluid or what have you. And so I really, it was almost like a memoir in halves. Like the first half was really like reflective of childhood and like, I realized this, I realized that, you know, that kind of thinking. And then the latter half was centered more around like the activism and what's happening. And it was just, it made my heart ache, but it also made me feel so hopeful and so excited for the future and for what people are doing and for people's voices being heard. It was good. I gave it 4 stars. The writing was good, but it wasn't like great. And I feel like there were some parts that could have been like edited, I guess, to enhance what was being said. And then the audio recording, because I was listening to it, there were some, like, the editing in that wasn't great necessarily. There were a couple of times where you could hear Pigeon Pagonis clear their throat. And I was like, y'all should have edited that out. Like, you're not supposed to, I mean, I know that's what's going on when you're recording an audiobook sometimes, but dang it, you're supposed to edit that mess out. Anyway, so that was more for like the quality of like the recording, but also a little bit of like the flow of things. So those were the 3 books that I finished this week. I'm feeling really good about it. I'm going to continue on and look at some other things that I want to read. I was like thinking about like books that I've pulled off the shelf to maybe read for the rest of the month. I think I might pick up a few shorter ones that are spooky season. So be looking out for the next vlog, I guess, because I probably will film another vlog soon. But that's it for this particular one. So if you've gotten this far, thank you for watching. I appreciate everyone who is interested. If you've read any of these books, or if you're interested in these books, let's have some discussion in the comments down below. I'm always up for suggestions. So like, for example, after reading Pigeon Pagonis's memoir, I have read, you know, Middlesex. Like, I'm interested in learning more about intersex individuals and like things along that. So if you have a book suggestion for that, that would be cool. Are you also fanboying for Isabel Cañas's books too? Because like, I feel like I can't be the only one. So anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.